in blue today.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. You might have just heard what my brother just said there. Just disregard that. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world.
Don't disregard. Don't disregard.
All right, Ralph. All right. Okay. All right. Welcome to the Thursday morning Ketchup show. Yeah, I got it right. All in one go. Yes. Confusion right here. No more Sunday morning Ketchup. 7 days a week Ketchup.
It's all ketchup.
All the ketchup here. But yeah, we've got 3 segmented live news, and we're going to be reviewing in some kind of shape or form the game tomorrow. The game tomorrow, Brentford versus Arsenal. Premier League game. Premier League, we're back in action. I tell you what, it is a good thing I'm still on holiday. It's a good thing. Yeah, I tell you what, it's going to be blood on the dance floor come Friday the 13th, Ralph.
You're trying to sound like Vincent Price or something.
Peter Cushing. Anyway, guys.
That's why I'm mature subscribers.
Yeah, you know, what? Who? Hammer House of Horrors. Hammer House of Horrors. But anyway, guys, we'll see you on the other side of this music intro. Hammer House. Friday the 13th. Yes, indeed. Yeah, welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. We're going X-rated on this one, Ralph. Hammer House.
It's going to be X-rated at the end of tomorrow's match. I hope not. I really do hope not. I really do hope not. I'm trying to be optimistic. Have you seen that the latest promo? Arsenal's latest promo, Len.
No, I want to see it. Go on.
You've got to see it, because I watched it and I was laughing from beginning to end. It's got all the ex players and current players in there as well, and there's this guy Len who's a devoted Arsenal fan. Doesn't say nothing throughout the whole thing, if my memory serves me, but just this legendary Arsenal fan called Len, and I was reading some of the comments of this video, and some of it is most of it is really on point. It really you have to look at it to see it, but it really is. All the comments, if you read the comments below, the comments are so funny. It is all on point. I have to say it's all on point, but it's Len. So before we go into the later stage of our conversation, I'm going to say I want Arsenal to win, because if Arsenal don't win, Len's not going to be a happy man. Watch the PR spin on Len. You got to check it out. I think it's the best thing that Arsenal have done thus far. And if you read the comments below, you'd see what people who've seen the video have said. It's all on point.
So where can they see it?
Well, I saw it just on YouTube. It's an Arsenal promo for the new season. I'm sure it's under Len. Promo under Len. Yeah, check it out. It is the. I just keep saying it's. I have to laugh. It's the funniest thing I've seen, and all the comments underneath are priceless. They are priceless.
Oh dearie me. Well, anyway, that apart. Yeah. Subscribe. That's what you got to do, people. Check out Len and then subscribe. Or actually subscribe first to Cannon Fodder TV, and then check out Len. All right. So, Rafa, how was you, geezer? How was you? You're right this Thursday morning.
Yeah, good. I've got a day off, so I've got other things to manage. It's amazing when you're away for a week. I didn't feel I was really away. I did a few things with my daughter. We, travelled and had some fun time. And then I did do the naughty on holiday. I did do some work stuff, so I got smack wrists from her and from one of my co-workers. But it's all with present stuff that needs to be addressed. So I've been away, but not really away, and back into the loop with work. It's like you haven't really gone away, which it's I only got myself to blame on that. But yeah, I can't really complain otherwise. I think I only heard from one moderator so far. I haven't heard from Monty yet. I think unless he's still on holidays.
On holiday. On holiday, yeah.
Okay. And the other gifts, like I mentioned earlier, the last blog we did, I'm looking into like a couple of vouchers, and I'm going to go into town later to get Mr. Don Arsenal. Yeah, get the gift from there. So apologies with the other moderators if I ain't seen anything yet. I did speak to one of the guys at work. We're going to use his voucher, as it were, or gift for charity purposes, and I'll send him a link to show him where it went to. So there's all things bubbling, but they will be completed by the end of this week. And then, as I mentioned, we're going to go into a competition for the subscribers and viewers out there.
Okay, wicked, nice one. A bit of an update there for the moderators there. All right, so let's get in the first segment of news on this particular Thursday morning. And yeah, this has come out from the standard over here in the UK. And it says, the headline says that Arsenal's young stars poised to shine in the 21/22 season. Emerson Rowe, Florian Balogun, Miguel Aziz, and Bukayo Saka. And the first thing I thought of when I saw this, I've got to say, was that it's not only these players that have to shine. I'm not looking to heap responsibilities on these youngsters' shoulders again. The other supporting cast players have to put in their pennies worth in this new season. There's no doubt in my mind that we're going to see a lot more of the usual suspects, dare I say, your Aubameyangs, your Bellerins, your Shakas, of course, because of the so-called failed transfer, in inverted commas. So with the supporting cast, I do not want to heap a lot more of responsibilities on the shoulders of these youngsters. But a report does say, ahead of the new Premier League season, the Standard themselves will be looking at these youngsters. I mean, Emma Smith-Rowe, a freshman signing his new contract and being handed a number 10 shirt. Smith-Rowe is ready to cement his spot in the first team. Last season, it looked like the 21-year-old until it took him until Christmas to break into the side. That's not absolutely true, because remember, his breakout season was under Unai Emery, not under Mikel Arteta. The report also goes on to say, big things are expected of the attacking midfielder, and they will have a big role to play for Arsenal. His link-up play with Bukayo Saka was a particular highlight last season, and the pairing will be vital to Arsenal this year. Ralph, before I go any further, do you have literally anything you want to add on before I go on in regards to this report, the Standard?
Well, it's not paper talk. It's just pretty much pointing at the obvious. The way that you put it across as well is quite succinct. But I think Arteta's going to rely on the youngsters. While the so-called professional, the professional players that's been in the club for that amount of time, while they are not performing or potentially not going to do what they should have done last couple of seasons. I mean, what's the chances of those players coming back into the team and all of a sudden being re-energized to get us to whether top four or to actually compete for the Premiership? I haven't seen anything from the pre-season to suggest that. I haven't seen anything within the last 2, 5, 8 years to see that trend changing. So while the youngsters come in and disrupts the status quo of the way that we all perceive how Arsenal should be playing, I don't think that it's going to change that massively. I think the youngsters are going to be used a lot. I think that there may be a chance of burnout because that's what we've done for the last few seasons. It's a constant. I don't see how it's going to change. As much as I like to be optimistic, and every season brings a whole sense of optimism until either the first match or until the end of the month. And then we start trending up and down, 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 and a bit up again. So I just see it as more of the same. There's a lot of transfer talks because we still got another couple of weeks before the transfer window ends. But while that's happening, the most important game for Arsenal season starts on Friday. And all the pressures, all the anticipation, all the angst, pretty much anything is all there. It's all there. And when we kick off the first match, all of us would be judging the first match thinking that it's going to be the worst case scenario because we already think about perceived what happened past seasons. How many matches have we won at the beginning of the season?
I was thinking the same thing actually. I don't actually have the stats to hand.
I don't think we've won any of our first matches of the season.
Yeah, I would have to check the stats before I give a comment on that.
So if we're going to go by stats alone, then that will tell you a story already. Have we been ready with the first team that is going to stick with from pre-season up to the first match and won? So there you have it. The youngsters are going to be heavily relied upon. I haven't seen anything from Aubameyang. We all know that Arteta's going to play Xhaka, and we know he's going to go for the safe option of Bellerin. He's not going to expand. Well, I mean, I've seen on our group chat, I think on Twitter, the team that he's going to play, if it is the right 11, he's got Chambers in that role instead of Bellerin. Chambers doesn't really put up trees for me. I mean, he's a good player, but he's not. To me, he hasn't put up any trees, and that may be a bit unfortunate. Time and everything. I was looking on the youngsters that we got out there: Mark McGuinness, Daniel Ballard, and James Oleyenko. If I got his surname right, they're all doing well for those teams out there in the championship. I don't see why we couldn't have had Mark McGuinness. I don't see why we couldn't have had Daniel Ballard. And I keep on referring back to what James Rowe keeps saying. Daniel Ballard pretty much helped Blackpool, to Premiership, not Premiership, to their promotion. And that's where you learned your hard graft. When you're in the Championship, even if you're abroad, I suppose, and you've helped that team progress from where they were, then that speaks volumes. And yet we're getting players in, and we're still keeping players that haven't put us where we want to be. So it's a continuing trend. I keep saying I don't want to sound negative, but it's not being negative. It's just seeing things as they are and seeing things as they were, and the trend seems to be the same. So unless something massively happens on Friday, the only way that I see us beating Brentford is that we've got to outscore them, because I don't see anything in defence.
Even with Ben White.
Sorry?
Even with Ben White.
It's Ben White's It's going to be Ben White's first proper Premiership match, although he's been in a couple of pre-season games. Well, he's been in one. He's been in one pre-season game.
Yeah, but he's come from Brighton, hasn't he? They've
Yeah,
been
it's not from Brighton. Yeah,
yeah.
but how he's going to influence a defense that seems to be like a sieve at the moment. Not one man can save a team, you know.
Yeah, yeah. That's
So
what I've
he's
been.
looking at Tierney, presumably. He's looking at Gabriel. Gabriel is fit. Potentially, he'd be looking at Holding, and he'd be looking at Chambers, and Suarez. I think Suarez should be in there rather than Mari. But
Well,
if you're a defender and you're looking at those defenders, you'd be thinking, okay, so who am I able to talk to? Who is strong where, and where do I fit in? How do I show them that it's not always an easy fit when you're coming in from another Premiership team to potentially a team in the top 8. We used to be top 4, and say, right, you know, I'm the main man. You know, you have to be a bit humble and find how things work first, and then work yourself into the team. And there'll be cliques. There'll be people saying, "Well, hang on a minute now. You know, who is in? You know, he's in the team. He's got this price tag. Let's see what he can do." Rather than try and understand and try and work together. But again, it's all speculation. But from what I've seen at this moment in time, we have to outscore Brentford, and Brentford are waiting for us. New ground, newly promoted. They've got nothing to lose. If we beat them, it's expected. But if they beat us, then that's the platform, and they'll carry that they carry us as a mascot. They say, yeah, we've beaten, you know, we just come up and we've beaten the big team.
Big team. Yeah, let me continue with the report now. So that was the first player that's spoken about, Emerson Throw, and the second player in this report from the Evening Standard, from Bellingham. It says for a long time it looked as though the 20-year-old would leave, and he had interest from other clubs in England and abroad. In the end, Mikel Arteta was able to persuade Balogun to stay, and he will be keen to make his mark this season. I mean, that's without a shadow of a doubt. There was still an outside chance that he could be loaned out on clubs in the Championship, and even the lower half of the Premier League would undoubtedly be keen on the youngster, who can operate out wide or through the middle. Just in regards to Balogun, the fact that he signed eventually the 4-year contract extension there, but Arsenal, remember, they left it right until the last weeks. Again, not good business. Not good business. I mean, he could have had the choice of, actually, in the report, as he says, he could have gone to any club, but he chose to stay with Arsenal. And don't forget, both he and Eddie Ketchup, they have the same agent. But again, you know, Arsenal not getting the job done in time. You know, he's with us anyway. And the other player they speak about as well, the one player I've been harping on about, Miguel Aziz. Arsenal have high hopes for the 18-year-old who made his debut for the club last season in the Europa League. A lack of European football will hinder his minutes this season, but he should get opportunities in cup competitions going forward in the new season. Did you want to say something? You look like you're bursting. You want to say something?
Well, no, pretty much. You know what you're saying is bang on. Balogun, I thought that Balogun wanted to leave last season, and the conversation that we had about it at that time was the fact that they got an agent representing them both, and I would have elbowed Eddie to keep Balogun, but it seemed like Balogun was literally, you know, was on his way out, but somehow has managed to get himself back in on there. So. But then he could be loaned out again. I don't know. I'd rather keep him. What, you know, what's going to happen if Lacazette don't show up, or Aubameyang, or not Lacazette? I tell you that coming back. What happens if Aubameyang that continues not to show up for these matches?
Oh, he'll continue to be played off.
Yeah,
Arteta
he'll,
wants the team.
they're playing him because they feel they have to play him.
Hmm.
But in the meantime, you're going to frustrate people, players like Balogun and Martinelli. Martinelli won, he's won a gold medal, so he'll feel that he's worth something. And what better way to prove your worth by actually, getting minutes? So, yeah, Balogun to me, he was on his way out. He wants to play. Play him. What harm could it do? Play him. Play him. If you don't want to play him in any of the Premiership matches, then play him in the cup matches. Play him.
Ralph, do you remember when because all this stuff about is Aubameyang, is he going to sign a contract? Is he going to sign the team? And then eventually they did a promo video when you see him walking around the stadium and he was saying in his own words that he wants to be a legend like Wrighty and Thierry Henry. And he also said in the video that Mikel Arteta had spoken to him and kind of delivered the message, which kind of captured his imagination to sign the contract extension. But also as well, that Mikel Arteta also said to him that, I can help you improve as a footballer. I was thinking, right, but Mikel Arteta, have you improved him as a footballer? You haven't. You haven't improved him. And yesterday people were saying to me, but Alex, could this be the reason why Aubameyang is not performing? Because he was promised something. And whatever he was promised, it hasn't materialized. And that's why, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday, when we were talking about, if I'm offered a contract extension in my work, in the school, but yet the moment I get the contract extension or a pay rise, I just down tools. The agency or the school, they're not going to want to keep me at the school. They're still expecting me to, maintain that level of, my work output, of working and supporting with the children. But as a footballer, I don't know what's happened to Aubameyang. His form is just falling off the cliff. So is it a fact that maybe Arteta promised him something, and whatever Arteta promised him, it just hasn't materialized? So that's why you just see it in Aubameyang not really putting in 110% performance. Do you think that's why his form was kind of falling off the cliff, Ralph? Because he was promised something that hasn't really materialized?
Well, maybe. Excuse me. I feel like I'm one of these like funny moments. Maybe Arteta promised that he would keep Martinez at the club. If you say I promise to keep Martinez as well, because as soon as Martinez went, to me his form just dipped. It's the two of them it seemed to have a really good friendship. Other than Lacazette, he's really good friends with Lacazette. But when Martinez went, after he signed the thing, as it were, his form just went off the cliff. He was a different player. And then, not turning up for the North London derby. I know we keep on harping on about that, but not turning up for the North London derby. You're captain of the club. What else could Arteta have promised him to that made him not play to your maximum? We all know as fans that if we're paid that kind of wage, we'd be turning up at work 6 o'clock in the morning and not leaving till maybe 6 in the evening, because we've got that kind of, I suppose we've got that kind of like fear that you don't want to disappoint anyone. You don't want to let no one down.
But Ralph, you say that, but it could be a fact that a lot of these players, they just become so comfortable. It happens to the best of us, Ralph. When you stay at a job for a long time, you become so accustomed, to the routine. Oh yeah, okay, I'm a dead cert. I'm going to be here. I've got a contract. Life's good. Life's comfortable. So it could be for him and a lot of the players. They just become so comfortable, Ralph. So comfortable.
But then, as a manager, that's your job to say, well, hang on a minute now, you're not performing. I'll take you out, or I'll put you on the bench, or I'll put you in the under-23s, or you need more coaching, or you need, whatever the reasons are at your disposal. That's what a manager does. it's not, in some cases, there's no point trying to flog the dead horse. The dead horse is dead. It's not going to go nowhere. You know, it's not. You know what? I think on one of your podcasts yesterday, you were saying how, like, there's things wrong, and it's like major surgery. I think we need like blood transfusions. We need to be we need recovery more than anything, because we all see it, and we all try to be as optimistic as possible, but sometimes the red flags are there for a reason. When a player is not performing, as a manager, you go in, you say, okay, what's up, forget about the money, because money, when you earn so much that you don't have to think about it, you need other motivators. So you try and self-motivate. Even trying to self-motivate is tiring as well. You know what I mean? So maybe he needs a holiday. He needs a break. When during pre-season he was training, they were showing where he was training. I was thinking, okay, well, maybe he's got something to prove now, because he's kept himself, and he's kept himself training throughout during the Euros. So maybe he's got something. He's got a point to prove. But then in pre-season, it's like it's gone flat. And sometimes when it goes flat, you need time away. And if your manager doesn't think to take that, to take you out of the equation, to give you time to recuperate and get your mind together, and he puts you back on, hoping that you're gonna perform, it could make things worse. And then the relationship between the manager and the player can become argumentative and fractious. And let's face it, it's a small environment, it's a bubble, so everything stays there, and it can only affect the other players. And if you take it home with you, it affects you at home as well. So the manager's responsibility is to make sure that the well-being of the player is up there, is working at an optimum level. And if he's not doing that, then it shows you how poor a manager that he really is. And guess what? You've got 9 other players thinking, well, hang on a minute now, if that manager's doing that to this player, he may not have my best interest at heart. He's great with, getting me to sign a contract. But if he says to me in 1 minute, I'm the best thing since sliced bread, and then the next thing he just leaves me to my own devices because I didn't do it this week, then that's fine. That's fine, because he's done it with the top level players. So what is a young player going to expect?
Just had a phone call, Ralph. Had a phone call actually from Arsenal. And Arsenal, they're asking if we're both available, Ralph, the coach.
I tell you what.
I was thinking, I'm not interested, man.
You know what? If they did, God, it'd be an amazing thing to happen to any fan, because we can see it. We all say it's quite easy to do it from this end, and no doubt it's very difficult to do it from their end, and they must be frustrated as well. I'm giving them as much a wide berth as possible, because we only see the reactionary part of it, or try to be as pro-action as possible. But when you supported a team for many years and you've seen the dips and you see the lows, you expect the lows to come back to medium level to rise again. But it seems to be dipping again. You're thinking, well, what is it? What is it? Is it the owner? Well, we know where we stand with the owner. Is it the manager? Well, we know what the manager needs to do now, because this is no honeymoon period now. This is the real deal time. Is it the players? The players know what's expected of them. They're under no illusion. And it doesn't matter if it's social media, if it's going to the stadium, if it's the guy down the pub, or guy or lady down the pub. We're all going to be putting pressure on these players because they know better. They're meant to know better. There's no hiding place. And I think maybe that's what it is. Maybe the shirt may be a bit too heavy for him to wear. And yet the answer, Alex, the answer lies in the youngsters.
That phone might be ringing again. Let's go into the next segment. This one, and this is slight transfer news. No. Oops. What's happened here? Oh.
You just got an email from Arsenal FC. We tried to ring you, but you're not answering, so it's sending you an email.
Well, the next news actually in regards to Aaron Ramsdale moved to Arsenal, collapses. Arsenal's move, to sign the goalkeeper, Sheffield United goalkeeper, has collapsed, and apparently the goalkeeper was distraught because he wanted to move to Arsenal. Right, okay. £30 million on Aaron Ramsdale. We could have kept Martinez, couldn't we? Could have kept Martinez. So that was slight transfer news, and we spoke very briefly. Yeah, go on.
Do you think that was a near miss, or we've missed out?
Near miss. It's a near miss. Near miss. I mean, I do worry because we've got Runnelson's deal to go to a Turkish club. I can't remember the name. It collapsed as well. So we've got Leno as the only one, and God forbid if he was to get injured, we're going to have Runnelson as a number 2, isn't it? So Arsenal have shot themselves in the foot again, Ralph. Again.
I don't think there's much of a foot left because it was so long. Piece of stumps.
I'm not saying anything. Oh, dear me. And then, we kind of actually covered over it. Have we covered it? Yeah, the game on Friday. A bit of a Friday 13th. 8 p.m. kickoff. That's GMT time. I'm not sure what's going to be wherever you are in the world. But, yes. Back in Premier League action. Ralph, you said the most important game for Arsenal is going to be the game on Friday. I don't see it that way, Ralph. I don't think one game, the first game of the season, is going to define the season. I just don't see it that way. Yeah.
Okay, it's the first game of the season, but you have to look at what we've been doing with pre-season and where we were up to at the end of last season. The team played better without pressure. When we couldn't get into the top 4, when we lost to who did we lose to? Villarreal. Yeah, Villarreal.
Mm-hmm.
We lost to Villarreal. All those, all those, I say micro matches. They were big. They were macro at the time, but then come the end of the expectation that was hoping, when nothing seemed to bother, that's when they start playing just that bit better. So they came to the end of the season thinking, right, okay, well, that's another season at the back. We're 8th. That's where we are at this moment in time. I said to you on this channel, this is the time now for Arteta to start thinking, okay, what worked? What didn't work? Who needs to go? Who I need to keep? And who are going to go out on loan and become potential maybes or whatever. He had, from the end of the season, right up until the 1st of August, to sort the house out. And he is not by himself. He's got Edu. He's got, what's the name of that guy now who said he wanted to get Bissouma when he came over. Richard Garlic.
Oh, Richard Garlic, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He could sit around the table and say, okay, these are our targets. Let's get that organized. Because at the beginning of pre-season, I want us to have the players that we want. So then I don't have to think about, anything else other than my team. This is my team. And he had all the time to do that. And here we are. It's like we've come to the party, but the main guests have gone. You know, the buffet is gone. The drinks are gone. There's just bare scrap, or there may be one or two expensive stuff there, but you know, have we got the money? Where's that 250 million pounds floating somewhere? You know what I mean? Oh, we managed to get maybe one or two signings, but there's always the undesirables. There's always the ones that you don't want. Or you know what? Actually, let's just try and keep it respectful. The players that has not brought us to the level that we expect to be, they should have been moved on. No questions. Take the hit. Some money is better than no money, because what that will do, that will force you to think, okay, we've got rid of quite a few players. We've taken a hit. Now we have to rely on our youngsters to come in, and then whatever money we can just get one or two key signings. Let's get another goalkeeper. Let's get another right back. Let's get another left back. Let's get a central midfielder, and then on the onset, we'll be looking at a striker, because our main man's not firing, but we've got potentials in the club, and he had all the time to do that. And here we are at the party. Everyone's everyone's like dancing. Okay, so who's your first partner? Brentford. Brentford is all there. Brentford's waiting. They can't wait. They literally are chomping at the bit. And here we are. Here we are. It's like a first date. We don't know what's going to happen. We know what we want to happen, but are we going to get it? You know what I mean?
Anyway, I just realised there's a problem with the app here, so I'm not able to use the video, which we usually do to take a break. It does work. So it does work. It does work. So sorry about that, guys. Was there another news segment? No, just briefly, you know, about the last pre-seasons we've had against Brentford. We've lost 2 of them, I think. Lost 2 in the pre-season and 1 in the Carabao Cup. 1 in 2000, actually 1 I think last year. We were beaten 3-2. 2018 we were beaten 2-1, and the Carabao Cup we beat them. I think we beat them 3-1. 3-1. But listen, Ralph. I mean, I as much as I criticize, and I realize I'm ranting a lot more than I did before. But when I looked at just one or two other podcasts that I just look at, I never thought, I'm not going to mention the podcaster's name, but I never thought I would have seen this podcaster ranting like he did. It was a good 35-minute rant about how Arsenal have not done the business in a transfer window. But I thought, wow, okay. So if you wanted to test the waters about how the fan base, I'm not going to say all the fan base is feeling that way, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who feel actually Arteta's doing a wonderful job, and good luck to you. And Jack Wilshere is one of those people who thinks that Arteta's doing a good job. But yeah, I'm not here to represent the whole of the fan base. But I'm just thinking, nah, Mikel Arteta, you've got a lot of work to do. Whether he lasts until the end of the year, that's a completely different story. But I just don't see it, you know, as the first game will define our season. I don't see it that way, Ralph. Someone was saying to me yesterday, what happens if he loses the first 3 games? I'm thinking, well, what happens if he wins the first 3 games? And then next month he loses 3 games. Does that mean that he's going to be sacked? I just don't see it cut like that. I don't see that.
I understand from your viewpoint that you know, it's not, the first game is not definitive, but the first game does open the door a bit wider to finding out, you know, what is actually going on at Arsenal, because everyone's been decisive or divisive. Everything's also is speculation we're guessing. We don't have that person in the dressing room. We don't have that inside track. And I think in some ways I'm quite grateful. You know what I mean? Because it could be a lot worse than what it is. You know what I mean? And I have to laugh. I have to laugh because this is my team. This is my team. If I have to revert back to when we start our segment about Len, the promo for Arsenal, Len. X, you remember Mickey from the flats?
Hardcore Arsenal fan. Ugh.
He was the very first, I say, black Arsenal fan that I could identify with in Brentford Court. Wherever you are, Mickey, if you're around or whatever, man, he was the hardest core fan for Arsenal in Brentford Court. And he always wore his red and white bobble hat. To me, if you saw that hat, you knew Mickey was around, right? So I hate to think what Mickey would be doing if you saw Len, because the two of them would be arguing. They would be arguing. And like I said, Len looks like a guy that you don't want to mess about with because, again, watch the ad. But to me, Mickey was the most definitive Arsenal fan, and he will not be happy with what's going on. And I think he probably would say it may not be one game, but it's at the beginning of the season and it will set everything up. And sometimes, you have to take the hits. You have to take the hits. Are those players going to be playing for the badge or they're playing for the exit? There's one or two, there's two alternatives. Choose one.
I just think that the players have gotten too comfortable, Ralph.
They have, but the manager's allowed it. The manager's allowed. Players will say, "Oh, come to Arsenal." Willian probably had quite a few conversations with David Luiz before he came over. Come over because they'll pay you this amount. Just talk to this agent. Blah blah blah. The manager ain't going to do anything different. He's not going to, choose you and not play you. Because he said, everyone's got a clean slate rather than reading the right act.
More like a dirty slate. Anyway, so those have been the new segments of today on this Thursday morning catch-up show. We're doing catch-up shows every single day of the week. But yes. So we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to the live chat for the first time. I haven't seen any moderators. There's no moderators in the live chat, from what I can see anyway.
Okay. Oops.
Different story. So anyway, we'll see you on the other side of this break. Okay, there we go. So we have reached the other side and the end of the break, and let's go into the live chat. The first time for this morning on a Thursday morning catch-up show with Raz. Bernard says the league is going to start with Arsenal having no striker. It's so upset. What do you mean no striker? Well, he's going to start with Aubameyang and Lacazette. What do you mean with no striker? Oh, you mean not a new striker? I'm not sure what he means, Ralph.
Well, maybe he probably means that. Although we may have Aubameyang there, he hasn't scored anything yet, has he? So
okay, I think that's what he means. Mohammed says up Arsenal 3 points tomorrow. Okay,
mistake.
A bit of positivity. Right, there you go, Ralph. I'm not happy the way Arsenal operating in this transfer market. We're standing. A lot of people are not happy, and like I said before the break, there's one podcaster that I've seen. I never thought that he would have ranted and raved the way that he did. And he is a Mikel Arteta supporter. But for him to reach that point where he's raving and ranting for like almost 40 minutes, there's something not right to Arsenal. Something not right. Who else do we have? They're just pricing players without not buying. What is really happening to my Arsenal? What's happening with Arsenal? Lots of questions about what's happened to Arsenal, Ralph, man.
Yeah.
First game first on the table. Well, before we even started, we're topping it in alphabetical order. All I pray for this season is consistency of good performances. You're not asking much then, are you, Nana? You're not asking much. Consistency doesn't exist at Arsenal. Andrew G, all the way from Newcastle and New Zealand. Hope you well. We won our first match last year, and the season before we won our first 2 matches, and only us and Liverpool did that, and then we lost to Liverpool in the 3rd week. So there you go, Ralph. There you go.
Okay.
So that's about in regards to where we have been. Io says we've learned nothing and forgotten nothing from our last season games. Arsenal has toothless strikers, plastic goalkeeper, and no attacking midfielder. But Arteta is just what? She adding on. I don't understand what he means by that. But anyway, yeah. I think it's basically saying more of the same. More of the same. Do you think Arteta might change it up? Do you think he might surprise us, Ralph? See, I'm kind of grasping at hope, Ralph. Is he?
I know, but Arteta, to me, he hasn't come across that way. He hasn't come across to say, right, you know what? El Tel summed it up, and I said this already once before. When he put those players on the pitch, I'm trying to think what match it was, and it was a loss. El Tel spotted Arteta, and he looked like he was broken. He looked like he was broken. It was so the performance. If I can remember, I have to go back to our previous blogs. But El Tel summed him up perfectly. The fact that he trusted those players and they let him down when he needed them the most. Now, for anyone else on this channel, other channels, whatever, if you have put all your house and everything on your team to play, and before they go out on the pitch, they say, it's all right, boss, we've got this. We know what we're doing. And by half time, the game is already done. What could you do? The next match, you won't play any of them. You want because they've broken your trust. They haven't listened to your tactics. They haven't taken on board your knowledge. So why would you want them back in the squad? Let alone.
Is that the one when Lacazette came out and said that the players didn't follow his plan?
Oh, I think it was another match.
I think
that match we won.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we won. But this one, and I was watching it, and I could see Arteta he was thinking, it was just like everything just comes straight to focus. Oh, it's like oh my God scenario. You know, what have I got here? You know what I mean? But the thing is that he keeps on playing the same players. So if you get slapped in the face 5, 6 times, it's gonna come at you another 5 or 6 times until maybe you get knocked out or something. I don't know. So for me, he's gonna play it safe. He's gonna hope that Aubameyang turns around the corner. He's gonna play Bellerin and Xhaka because these players are his go-tos.
Yeah. Dear. Good morning, Prosper. Prosper says there's a lot of pep in Arteta, and Pep is not what you call a man of his word to players. Many may totally destroy the young lad's career. Look at what he was doing to Martinelli. I just hope and pray that we see a lot more of Martinelli this season, because now, again, he featured in the Olympics. He's won a gold medal in the Olympics. He didn't play in the final, by the way. He didn't play in the final. But I just hope we get to see a lot more, you know, the old Martinelli back in action. Marcus says he's a Pep light. My goodness. Ian says we won't beat Brentford tomorrow. He will put a weak squad out. If we haven't beaten them in the friendlies, what makes you think we will beat them when it counts? Alberta says, tell me the latest news now. Well, we've been talking about the news, so if we didn't catch up, you can always repeat. Darren says, spend the £25 million that we got from Joe Willock on Onana, the goalkeeper, and Hosam Aouar. But Arsenal won't do it. Arsenal, Mikel Arteta and Edward, they will not do it. They're not going to do it. I only wish UK fans can boycott watching games in the stadium. Let's push Cronkies out of this club this season. Not going to happen, Ralph, is it?
Unfortunately, we don't have any. What's the word I'm looking for? The time that we was trying to protest, from the time when it first happened, this potential idea, all the attraction, all the necessary steps to keep that movement going has stopped dead in its tracks. It stopped dead in its tracks when the Euros started. That was a really good distraction.
Yeah.
You know, and then you had the Olympics, and then you got pre-season, and it's almost as if that scenario was a distant dream or a distant nightmare. But as Eltel, again, I'll keep picking up on Eltel and James Rowe, these wise guys. Eltel says that how it's going to come back again, but it come back under a different guise, and there'll be more clubs potentially up for it because of the financial implications. And this, you know, financial fair play scheme. Many years ago, Arsene Wenger used to say that, you know, this is a really good way of making things fair for all the Premiership teams. You can't have anyone dominating through, you know, through finances, because if you did that, then it makes it, you know, it makes the Premiership very unbalanced and not fair for everyone, because you could be owned by a country to get the best players in, and the knock-on effect is the fact that if you get players from overseas because you can afford the high wages, the grassroots stay literally at grassroots level. There'll be no progression because nobody will want to take a hit or take a chance on young hopefuls. Hence the reason why, you know, the English team had been so stagnant in years, because you know, they didn't have many grassroots level players coming up through the ranks to hit the Premiership teams, to get into first place, and then to be considered playing for their country. So financial fair play rules is meant to be the overseer, as it were, of making sure things are financially fair. And it hasn't been. Chelsea broke the rules. Man City broke the rules. I'm not sure if Man United may have done, or they may have fringed on it a little bit. And Arsene Wenger was pillared because he tried to play within the rules. And he would say, and I was thinking actually at the time, Arsene, there's no point talking to his people because they're broken the rules, and they've allowed those clubs to break the rules because maybe they've got some kind of financial backhand or something. Maybe sounds quite controversial, but if the financial fair play was there to punish people, it did, but the punishment was very minimal at least. And I said Chelsea, okay, they've had another success to them, but they would have been their financial implications would have hampered them, but it didn't. Man City, it could have hampered them, but it didn't. So there's no point having this financial fair play system because it doesn't do what it says on the tin. There's no tin. There's a bit of writing, and that's it. That is it. There's no substance. So Kroenke is just sitting there still, twiddling his fingers and thumbs, and we have lost traction. We have lost progression. We have lost everything because all the other distractions that's come in has pulled us away from the main focus. There's only a few. It's only a few of us that says no. We're not going to buy the kit. We're not going to, Some who wants to not buy the season ticket. When you think about it, last season, anyone who had the season ticket for last season, what did you do with your money instead? It went to staycation when the lockdown was eased. You can actually afford to, maybe some new furniture or to treat someone. So that money now, you're going to have to start justifying to pay for your season ticket.
Yeah. Lucas says, so we start with Ronison as number 2. Fills him with confidence, that does. Dare you me. Yes, it will. Arteta has done nothing to improve us in pre-season, and last season he will be gone after the first 5 games. Again, I don't see it as clear cut as that. I don't see it that. I don't envisage it like that. Envisage it like that. But in football,
he's been backed by the board, hasn't he?
Say again.
He's been backed by the board. So
that's what he said.
Yeah. So how ruthless is the board? Does the board have somebody else? If it's anything like their transfer window, then it's gonna go back to a caretaker.
Dear me, man. Oh, dear me. Oleko says Arsenal no fake. Well, Oleko, I'm going to put you in a timeout because you start to spam the live chat. So I'm going to put you in a timeout. And if you're still doing the same thing, I'm going to have to block you. Okay. Once you're blocked, there's no coming back from that. Let's have a look here. Karumi, good morning to you from Jamaica. Jump down. Arteta does not have to tell the players they're not in his plans. Simple as. Someone has actually said that he's scared of upsetting the captain, the talisman. He'd far rather just let the guy do what he wants to than actually saying, I've seen enough. We're gonna drop you. Better still, we might even sell you. But yeah, people said to me that it appears as though Arteta is probably too scared to upset the apple cart.
Can't be a manager if you're scared.
Exactly. That's why you're there to manage situations and deal with the situations. They're not the easy situations. They're difficult situations. Party injury, so no party. Mid-table battle upcoming. The process well and truly out of the window. Al King says sell Orba and bring in Lautaro Martinez. With the squad we have, we should beat Brentford, but we don't
We're
have
not.
a.
We're not coached properly.
Yeah. Neil, good morning. Actually, good afternoon. Says All or Nothing will be a comedy show. I won't be watching that. I'll tell you now. I won't be watching that. Greedy Man TV says that I know we have more players than positions, so there has to be something going on that no one knows. Well, I'm not in the know. I don't want to be in the know. Whatever. I don't want to be in the know. I'm not interested in that, man. Karami says a coach must be a leader. Take charge. Well, I guess from his point of view, maybe he's thinking, well, I am taking charge. What's your definition of taking charge? That's what I'm going to say. What else do we have here? Red flag Arteta. I like the look of the yoga wall. They're all right. They're putting an order in, Green Man, Joker. The Assemble says, good morning, chaps. Arsenal are first in the bar, last one to buy a drink.
That's a good one.
I'll give you a comment in the chat of the one so far. Darren Fripp says, I can't wait for Arteta to be sacked on All or Nothing. Yeah, very predictable. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. John, good morning, says Arteta has no content and Edu is busy chasing all the attacking midfielders in the world. I fear for Arsenal. Is it me or does Arteta actually answer any questions he is asked? And he talks about everything but the question he is asked. Green Man says, big up, Ralph, on your quality shirt. Yeah.
Thank you.
And Darren says, fans are like lemmings. When one drops off, there's always another one to take over. Oh, my goodness. Prosper says, the whole point of appointing Arteta was for the board to use him as an scapegoat. When we lose, as well as a reason for not spending, because they will say the manager didn't ask for any new players. Dearie me. You know what, Ralph? We've come to an end. I've caught up on all the live comments in the live chat.
Even though we've been guessing.
Yeah, well, no, I was just thinking, you know, Friday the 13th, man, horror. Hammer House of Horror, boy. God, dearie me. Oh, dear. All right, so guys.
It would have been Highbury House of Horror.
Well, listen, like I said, Ralph, you know, I want Arsenal to win. Which fan would not want Arsenal to win? Which fan would not want Arsenal to get back in Europe? Unless you have what do they call it? Like an agenda. Don't have an agenda. I mean, I just call it as I see it. Again, I'm not going to get onto this, you know, the bandwagon, oh, Arteta out or Arteta in. I'm Arsenal all the way. And that's all that matters to me. But anyway, Ralph, it's good to have you back on this Thursday morning catch-up show. Any words? Any words?
Yeah, we'll be doing my voice of reason.
Hey!
Yeah. It'll be on the back of our first match. Please, Arsenal, please, Arsenal. All I'm going to say is don't upset Len. because Len, you need to wear. Anyone who's seen the advert will know this. Len needs to wear his lucky underpants. That's all I've got to say. That's all I've got to say. Because this is gonna be a wild ride this season. It really will be a wild ride. So yeah, my voice of reason will be back next week, following our first match against Brentford. So yeah, please keep Len happy, and Mickey, wherever you are in the universe, you know, thanks very much, man. Because like I said, you was one of the very hardcore fans that my brother and anyone who lived in Brentford Court back in the day. everyone knows Mickey. Mickey always red and white bobble hat, and yeah, we didn't really know. We didn't really know. We knew about Arsenal. We didn't really know, but Mickey was like the main. To me, he was the main man. He was the main man. So wherever you are, Mickey, thanks very much.
Yeah. Do you know, Ralph? You know when you just mentioned there about doing your VOR, I was thinking, why is Ralph doing the VOR? But I forgot, crikey, the beginning of the season. Isn't it? Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you, Ajax.
No, but because you know what? Because I've been like in a parallel universe, Ralph. Champions almost every single day. You kind of lose track of the time, and I'm
exactly. Yeah, you're back in.
Yeah, but in regards to the flagship live show, the Easy Talk won't be back until the beginning of September because we've still got a few more weeks to go for the transfer window. So I'm not going to be thinking about organising and speaking to our contributors until the transfer window closes, which is the 31st of August. So the next time that you guys, all the subscribers and followers on all platforms, will see the contributors back will be maybe the first week in December after the transfer window. And boy, we're going to have a lot of things to talk about. We're going
to have like a guest list. The size
Right, just got one here from Pat. Pat says they're a great show. Thank you for that, Pat. Ralph, just a quick one for you, Ralph. Do you think it's possible Arteta will survive the season?
Okay. If he's backed by the board and if he gets quite a few positive results this season, he's got to improve. This is me giving Arteta a clean slate, right? Arteta's agenda, Arteta's agenda is improve on last season, win a trophy, settle the team, get rid of the players if it means taking a hit, and potentially get us into Europe. That's Arteta's agenda, and then we'll see from there. If he goes anyway over those or below, if he doesn't hit those marks, then the board have to act. The board have to act in getting his replacement, and it has to be someone who is proven and will literally sort out the team, the club from top to bottom. But there's the awkwardness is Kroenke. This manager that potentially could come in can't be taking any rubbish from Kroenke. He's got to set in and say, this is what I want. If you're not going to give it to me, then the conversation ends. But that's further down the line. Arteta's agenda, 5 agendas, get them, improve the Arsenal, and we'll see what happens.
All right, guys. So that's it. That's the end of the Thursday morning Ketchup show with both myself, both Raz, myself. I got
myself and I.
Yeah. The next time, guys, you guys will see me will be tomorrow morning, coming live and direct. Give me some more live news. I'm not doing any post-game reaction. I'm just going to be looking at the game, and whatever happens, happens. But I'm not doing any post-game reactions. But you will see me, same time, same place, different day on Cannon Fodder TV. And by the way, you guys have been watching Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world.